look around here. Thing runs really, really good. Got a lot of questions about it. And I even had questions about my belt as it lined up. It's lined up perfectly. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but again, that's what it sounds like. It's pretty loud, it's kind of obnoxious, but I like it like that. So there you go. 56 Chevrolet with a 355 in it. So with these mufflers on there, it sounds excellent. It sounds really good in the car too. It has good oil pressure. So yeah, it's a 355. It's got a TRW pistons in it, some forged pistons. It's got a Comp 268 cam in it, some roller tip rockers, things of that nature. It has this really cool chrome mini alternator that it works excellent. So it had headers on it, but they always leaked and caused problems. So I ended up running these Ram's horns, which I am a big fan of. So those are the Ram's horns right there. Goes in a 2.5, and then it has the Black Widow race venoms turned down at the rear end there, back there. It has an H pipe in it also. Again, the AVS carburetors, AVS 2s, 500s, electronic ignition. I hid the coil up under here. So the coil and all that's right there. I hope you can see that. And again, there we go. We got the aluminum pulleys on it. This car does not have power steering, and it just has a single belt on it, so it runs really well. The heads have been pocket ported. Like I said, it's 355 cubic inches, 30 over. It's got a steel crank and the 4-bolt mains and the pink rods and all the old school type build with the air gap. You know, it's a runner. It's definitely can get out of its own way. There's no doubt about that. I never had it on the dyno, so I don't know what it puts out. But with the AFR gauge on it, I got the carburetors dialed in. Yeah, they're running about 13-to-1, somewhere in there. So, you know, that works really well. I didn't need to run the spacers in it. I do have a couple spacers that I probably will end up putting there. Just never did it. Those 1-inch spacers, so I probably do that. It's got little air cleaners on it, which probably hinder it a little bit, but you know, they look cool and they fit good on here. And I wanted to be able to see the carburetors. That's why I went with those ABSs, because they're all shiny and pretty. I don't know that I like the Holley valve covers, you know, the looks of them. I did paint it this titanium steel blue, which is the same color as that Pontiac GTO. I had it as the 56 red for a long time, and prior to that I had an orange motor in here. I had a 327 in here. But the 283 I had in here was the original red for 56. Not the original motor, obviously, because those didn't come out until 57. A couple of other things on this car is I, you know, put the little jumpers for the Barrett bags, and it's got the quick disconnect. And I use this Tessa tape. It works really, really well. This is for BMWs, and it really makes it nice and clean. It's made for exterior, and it really does a clean job with it. Something I highly recommend. I got it off your local eBay, or I mean your local Amazon, excuse me. But yeah, that's the motor. So if you have any questions about it, again, leave them a message down in the comments, and I'd be more than glad to answer on it. But since I've had so many questions about the engine, mainly the alternator's not lined up, and I'm telling you, it's lined up dead straight. Now, the other thing I had a lot of questions on is these clamps, power grips, which I absolutely love. I really want to explain that again. So people are like, well, it's not serviceable. Yes, it is serviceable, because you pull this bolt out right here, and this water neck comes off, and this hose is flexible, and you move it out of the way. So it goes with the radiator. When you pull the radiator out, it goes with the radiator. I did put a regular clamp down here on this little flex one, which I am going to change at some point. Because you can just pull it off this end and go with it. Maybe you leave just the you know, one end with one of those chrome ones on there, those little chrome clamps, you know, I can do that. So that would be another option. The other thing is I had this. People have always asked, what is that? Well, that's the factory horn. No, really, it's the horn. So actually what it is this had a radio antenna, which I never had. It just had a bare horn in it. And I had one of these buttons, and I had the little, what do they call the relay there, and the horns are already in there. So I just went in there and screwed it on there, and then car shows, you know, kids are always looking at, kids like this car, and they go, and I always say, hey, push that red button, and they do it, and they jump every time. Just kind of a fun thing, you know, if I want to go back stock, just pull it out, put an antenna back in it. Just something to, you know, break up the time at a car show. Kind of interesting, kind of fun. That's what I do. I like that fun stuff. So anyways, I'm going to flip this around real quick because I love this camera. I just got to figure out how to do it. Just go like this. And then you're back at me. So that is my 56 wagon. And, you know, when it's patina, you can lean on it. You don't have to worry about it. That's the nice thing about patina. And it is all shiny. So it works good. There's products out there to make them like that. But I really love the car. I really love the engine in it. Like I said, I've had a ton of questions on it. And there it is. You know, I did have a trivia question about let me flip it around real quick. I did have a trivia question about what's different about this car in the back, and it's right there. It's that V. That V is from a 57. And right over here, right behind this ice chest, is the smaller 56. It's on the wall. So that's the 56 V. And as you can see, the 57 is quite a bit bigger. There's a better look at it right there. So the 57 is quite a bit bigger. If you follow my channel, that's the difference. And I hope, you know, you would like. So I really want you guys to like and subscribe and keep the questions coming. I mean, I have 300 something questions about, you know, between this and then my 55 over there. You know, we've had just a ton of questions. I've really enjoyed it because, let's face it, I'm a car guy and I like cars, so I love talking about them, especially the Tri-5s, you know, have a special place. I've said it before, I'll say it again. My favorite's the 56 Nomad. When I bought this car, I looked everywhere for a patina Nomad, and I mean, I looked everywhere for about a year, and I just couldn't find one. And this came up, and I go, it's close. It's almost a Nomad. In fact, most people think it is. They call it a Nomad all the time. I refer to it as the Nomad. It's not a Nomad, it's the Nomad. So there you go. Again, thank you so much for all of your support and all of your liking and subscribing. If you're watching this for the first time, go check out my other videos. I have a whole bunch of videos about this car and other cars here in my shop. And I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. So we'll see you next year.